Due tonight, the charges against the man police say left 2 men dead in the back of a pickup truck and killed a golf pro. This is what we know right now. Brian Rhodes is facing 3 counts of murder, 3 counts of aggravated assault, and 2 counts of kidnapping. He was arrested just hours ago. We have special live team coverage as we try to bring transparency and answers to complicated questions with this investigation.
Transparency and answers. Listen, y'all been sending me this story since last week. This happened last weekend. I think last Friday. People have been sending me this story. I've been seeing it while I'm going through stories. And I was like, you know what? They found a golf pro dead at a golf course and 2 other men who we didn't know of their race or anything. Turns out one's white and one's Latino, or the other two men. So it's 2 men were found dead in the truck, and then another guy was found dead on the golf course. That's the golf pro. So 2 white guys and a Hispanic guy found dead. We didn't know the race of the other 2. We only knew one. So I assumed, okay, maybe, some fraud or some real estate deal going bad. Somebody killed somebody, yada, yada, yada. And I was like, you know what? This weekend, I'm focusing on July 4th violence in the stand. So I didn't want to do that video. Plus, the suspect was still on the loose. But even I, in this case, assumed that the suspect was a white guy. Even me. I just assumed that somebody found dead on a golf course. 3 people found dead on a golf course. I just assumed the suspect was white. Boy, was I wrong. And now they're talking about transparency and difficult. No, there's no difficult questions. Everybody thought that this Atlanta area, this Georgia murder was a white guy who did this one. And it still turned out to be a brother. With a pretty extensive record, of course. But this story gets deep. Make sure you buckle your seatbelts. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. We about to go in deep. Share these videos too. About to go where no newsman will go.
Due tonight, the charges against the man police say left 2 men dead in the back of a pickup truck and killed a golf pro. This is what we know right now. Brian Rhodes is facing 3 counts of murder, 3 counts of aggravated assault, and 2 counts of kidnapping. He was arrested just hours ago. We have special live team coverage as we try to bring transparency and answers to complicated questions with this investigation. So let's get started with 11 Live's John Sherrick. He is live for us tonight outside of the Cobb County Jail. John?
Brian Anthony Rhodes in custody, and he will be booked here at the Cobb County Jail as loved ones of those he's accused of killing express relief and ask police exactly what led up to the triple homicide. Cobb County Police Chief Tim Cox making one simple announcement Thursday night, a monumental break in the case. Police, he said, have the man who killed 3 people this past Saturday.
On July 8th, 2021, detectives from our Crimes Against Persons unit secured an arrest warrant for the lone shooter, who's now been identified as Brian Anthony Rhodes.
Brian Anthony Rhodes arrested in Chamblee late Thursday afternoon. It turns out Rhodes was actually arrested early Sunday, hours after the triple homicide. Rhodes was jailed in DeKalb County, charged with DUI and false ID and no tag, but his name had not come up yet in connection with the homicides, so he was released Tuesday night.
Now do you understand why they do traffic stops? This guy committed a DUI hours after a triple homicide. Think about this. This guy killed 3 people on a golf course. 2, he had brought to the golf course duct taped in the bed of the pickup truck. and one who just happened to see a pickup truck stuck on a hill on a golf course. And since he's the golf pro at the country club, he walked over to see what was going on and got his brains blown out by this guy. So this guy, after that, he's driving drunk, gets pulled over. And arrested for DUI, false ID, and no tags. Why am I harping on this? Because this is a cold-blooded assassin, a killer. And he got enough sense not to fight with the cops when he get pulled over for a DUI. A cold-blooded assassin. The type of guys that you hear about in rap songs. Oh, and let me get to that. Okay, so this is our boy's IG page. He got 18,900 followers. He's a rapper. His new album, called Made It Out, is out in stores now. His byline reads, Boss Energy, Real Life, exclamation point. All right, this is him. He living the whole rap lifestyle. The rented cars. The made for IG pics. He looked like, a real rapper. He was doing his thing. The 46-year-old was a professional golfer. He was the golf pro at that country club, meaning that he taught people how to play golf, trained people who just at the country club who wanted golf lessons, helped, maintain the golf course and whatnot. The 76-year-old that they found tied up in the back of duct tape, mouth shut, legs, hands, everything, duct tape. The 76-year-old was a businessman. And the 46-year-old, who was also duct taped in the bed of the pickup truck, dead, executed, is the director of wine country in California. When everything comes out about this case, that's going to be wow. I'm sure you guys in the chat have your guesses and your speculations about what this is all about. But wow. How did they cross paths with this guy? Sounds like a hitman to me, because there's no way they would have crossed paths. Wow. You cross paths with a Pookie, boy, you in deep trouble. This wasn't no ordinary Pookie, though. This was a super Pookie. Now, I just want to give you a peek into the mind of Minolta, the mind of Son Olta. This is very common for black people to say this. What this guy, Swahili Samurai, saying. You knew killing them white folks wasn't the move. They finna the railroad you, my boy. They think that there's a value on white life over a black life in the criminal justice system. They feel like if you kill a white person, you get in more trouble. Which is not true. There's no evidence to prove that. But that's a common thought in the stand. This guy says, this chick says, hate crime. This was a hate crime. Charge this man ASAP. Well, it's only a hate crime if a white guy does it to a black. Or if anybody does it to an Asian person. That's the only way it could be a hate crime, or if the person is from the LGBT community. Other than that, ain't gonna be no hate crime.
Cobb County Police Chief Tim Cox making one simple announcement Thursday night, a monumental break in the case. Police, he said, have the man who killed 3 people this past Saturday.
On July 8th, 2021, detectives from our Crimes Against Persons unit secured an arrest warrant for the lone shooter, who's now been identified as Brian Anthony Rhodes.
Brian Anthony Rhodes arrested in Chamblee late Thursday afternoon. It turns out Rhodes was actually arrested early Sunday, hours after the triple homicide. Rhodes was jailed in DeKalb County, charged with DUI and false ID and no tag, but his name had not come up yet in connection with the homicides, so he was released Tuesday night. I asked Chief Cox when investigators first became aware of Rhodes as a possible suspect in the homicides.
His name came up within a few days of the investigation.
Chief Cox would not say what it was that led them to charge Rhodes, but he says Rhodes is the man who drove a pickup truck onto the Pine Tree Country Club golf course Saturday afternoon with 2 bodies in the back of the pickup. The chief says Rhodes had killed them. Paul Pearson and Henry Valdez kidnapped and killed them that day. Then the chief says Rhodes shot golf pro Gene Sillers in the head when Sillers walked up to see what was going on.
People gonna get tired of this, man. These families just being destroyed, lives just being ruined. And I showed you earlier this week, they got so many ways to ruin lives. Like, they don't just got one way. They got like 6 million ways to ruin your life. Man, guy was living the life. 2 beautiful kids, beautiful wife, working as a golf pro at a country club. Doing his job. Sees a pickup truck just like stuck on a hill on the golf course. He goes over to see what's wrong. It's like a brother over there. He like, had the white man seen this brother stuck over there and he didn't have no body. Say he didn't have no 2 men duct taped and tied up in the bed of the pickup truck. Let's just say the brother was over there stuck on the golf course. Some random brother drove his pickup truck on a golf course. Dead wrong in the first place. And say nobody from the country club came over to help him out. Get his car, off the hill. And they all was just wary, like, I ain't going over there. Like, man, that brother looks sketchy. I ain't going over there. No, I ain't going over there. Call the police. That would have made the news too. In Atlanta, oh yeah, that would have made the news. A young black man car was stuck on a hill at a country club, and instead of helping him out, the racist decided to call the police and put his life in danger. Because calling the police puts black men in danger. It sparks an interesting question about racism in America. Are we fully over Jim Crow? Have we moved on from the days of slavery? Have we fully made the transition into a post?
Weather alert.
Have we fully made the transition into a fully post-racial society?
Then the chief says Rhodes shot golf pro Gene Sillers in the head when Sillers walked up to see what was going on. Now, the chief said these were such, quote, such horrible and horrific crimes. He's not discussing yet what the motive might have been. He's not discussing what sort of relationship there might have been among Roden and the two men in the back of the pickup truck he's accused of killing. And police are not yet discussing Roden's criminal history. Back to you.
John, thank you. For family and friends and other loved ones of the victims, today comes with a sigh of relief. Paola Suro picking up our team coverage from here and joining us live from the Cobb County Country Club where this all took place. Paola, what can you tell us?
Yeah, well, Jennifer, you know, it's the second day that the country club has now been reopened since the incident, and people who work here tell me the 10th hole right behind me where Gene Siller was shot and killed actually will remain closed indefinitely, and they tell me this is all as they continue to mourn, and also today, just a little bit of a sigh of relief.
It was definitely like a weight had been lifted off. I mean,
For Pine Tree's lead golf instructor, Corey Evans, who worked with Gene Siller for almost 2 years, finding out that the suspect tied to the triple homicide was arrested was a full circle moment.
I was standing in the same spot where I heard the shots happen, and I was able to find out that they captured a guy in the same spot.
Thursday is Evans' second day back at work since losing his colleague. He happened to be giving lessons about 400 yards away when he heard the gunshots. Today, he feels some kind of closure.
Obviously felt different being here. First couple visits after. The image is still pretty vivid in my mind, how I saw him running them. I know for me, finding out that they were caught, that was huge for me. But for the family, obviously, that's unfortunately not going to fix the situation.
Evans, who says he saw the suspect running away after firing shots, says he hopes this arrest will bring more answers to their questions. For now, the country club says this is a big answered prayer.
We are ecstatic that the killer of our beloved friend has been arrested.
That used to be a plantation, man. That land, that used to be a plantation, man. That's what they get, man.
Now, at last check, Siller's GoFundMe page sits at more than $658,000 out of their $500,000 goal. We've reached out to friends and family of the other two victims to see if they're going to set up a fundraising page for them. We have not heard back yet. Of course, we'll let you guys know once we do.
Paola, thank you. As for those two other men who were killed during all of this as well, the bodies of 76-year-old Paul Pearson and 46-year-old Henry Valdez were found in the back of a pickup truck owned by Pearson. Both men are from out of town, and police say it seems they had no relation to the country club. Today's arrest is just one of the first steps in this investigation, and we are committed to following it through for you. Stay with 11 Alive on air and online as we continue to work to learn more.
Major breakthrough in a triple murder investigation in Cobb County. Police arrested a suspect tonight, 5 days after a golf pro was shot to death and two other bodies were found at a local country club.
They say just hours after the murder, the suspect was actually arrested for unrelated charges in Chamblee and then out on bond days later. Fox 5's Denise Dillon joins us live tonight in Cobb County.
And Denise, police just gave you an update on that investigation.
Yes, I just spoke to them, and after 5 days of searching with numerous agencies involved at the local, state, and federal level, including the Secret Service, U.S. Marshals, ATF, and others, police say they have finally captured the lone gunman in these murders.
Detectives from our Crimes Against Persons unit secured an arrest warrant for the lone shooter, who's now been identified as Brian Anthony Rhodes.
Cobb County Police Chief Tim Cox says the gunman wanted in the murder of golf pro Gene Siller and two other men is now in custody. Police say 23-year-old Brian Roden was captured in Chamblee.
Mr. Roden was apprehended this afternoon by members of the Fugitive Task Force and the U.S. Marshals Service.
Saturday afternoon, Siller was at Pine Tree Country Club when he noticed a white pickup stuck near the 10th hole. He went to check out what was going on. Investigators say that's when Roden, who was driving the truck, pulled out a gun and shot and killed Siller.
Just think about this, man. You're at a country club, and let's not even be like crazy here. Most of these country clubs are all wealthy white. They don't even have poor white. You have to be wealthy. You have to pay dues. And country club is more of a vibe that, wealthy people like. People that are kind of, lower in working class, they like a different type of vibe. They might not even play golf. They might have other hobbies. They may have like other crowds. They may not like just the country club vibe. But these wealthy people, they grow up wealthy and they, enjoy this type of atmosphere. So you're not going to see a lot of blacks over here. The sun don't shine on country clubs like that. Now, you see this car, this pickup truck. You're like, OJ? Like, see this pickup truck. You like, what the hell? You see some black dude, I guess, just trying to push it out or milling around it and whatnot. You're like, what the hell? A brother on the golf course? What the hell with dreadlocks and shit? What the hell is going on? You walk over there and boom, he pulls out a gun and smokes you. God, dog. That was that guy's last moments in life, a golf pro. Seeing a brother on a golf course with a pickup truck stuck on a hill and being like, I knew something in the back of his tingly spidey senses said, yo, danger. Not danger because it was just necessarily because it's a brother, dreadlock brother, hip-hop dressing dreadlock brother, just because he was out of place. In the situation he was in, nobody drives a pickup truck. They have golf carts. You don't drive cars on golf courses. He went over there and immediately got dealt with.
Saturday afternoon, Siller was at Pine Tree Country Club when he noticed a white pickup stuck near the 10th hole. He went to check out what was going on. Investigators say that's when Roden, who was driving the truck, pulled out a gun and shot and killed Siller. Police later found 2 dead bodies in the bed of the truck. One was the truck's owner, 76-year-old Paul Pearson from Kansas. The other, 46-year-old Henry Valdez of California.
Mr. Roden has been charged with 3 counts of murder, 3 counts of aggravated assault, and 2 counts of kidnapping.
U.S. Marshals told Fox 5 that Chamblee police asked Roden to come down to the Chamblee PD. He did, and that's where he was arrested. Investigators did not release why Roden freely went to the Chamblee Police Department, but Fox 5 has obtained jail records that show Roden was arrested by Chamblee police for DUI later in the day Saturday. He was booked into the DeKalb County Jail in the early morning hours of July 4th and has been behind bars until he was released Tuesday evening. Cobb County Police Chief Tim Cox says his name first came up on their radar shortly after the killings.
His name came up within a few days.
For members of the Pine Tree Country Club, it's been 5 long days filled with questions and fear. Now, relief that the gunman has been captured.
I'd like to thank our citizens, our community members from that area. Many of them provided useful tips that our detectives were able to investigate and provide leads on.
Of course, we still have a lot of questions, especially when it comes to the connection to those 2 men found in the truck and a motive. But Chief Cox says that this is still an active investigation, and he's just not ready to release that information yet. Reporting live in Cobb County, Denise Dillon, Fox 5 News.
All right, Denise.
So, in August of 2020, right at the beginning of the Blackistanian Spring, Roden led Indiana State Police on a high-speed chase in Indiana. He led Indiana State Police on a high-speed chase on I-65 through White and Tippecanoe counties, reaching speeds of 150 miles per hour through traffic. Before crashing. He was arrested for resisting law enforcement, but entered a plea agreement and was sentenced to just 20 days in jail. Shocking, right? You're shocked, I bet, right? Floored. Can't believe it, right? No way. 20 days. And he probably didn't even do them 20 days.